Welcome to Open Exchange, and I am Mel.
And I am Shfanta.
And I'm Kharis.
This is Kharis.
KJ.
We have a guest or an intruder. I don't know who it is, but
Ooh, Cajun Janet.
A guest.
we have a guest. So we invited Kharis back on because she's about to go back to school, and that's always a time where the summer's coming to an end, and she's going back to school for her. What year is this?
My junior year, but I am second semester junior year.
Second semester junior year.
Which means in the spring I officially be a senior.
Okay.
See you in the spring. See you in the spring. She goes to the Winston-Salem State. Shout out to Winston-Salem State. The Rams
Shout
in the
out
house.
to the Rams.
Go Rams.
Y'all, those that know us know that we are Rams, and so it's cool to have your kid go to school where you went to school. So we just gonna ask her some questions. And this is also a follow up because she, had a medical issue a couple of years ago. Now 3 years ago now. So she can give a little update about that. We don't go through the whole story because those that know the whole story, but. And this is why, going back to school is such a big deal because at one point we didn't know we was going to be able to go back to school or not. But now that we are and that we have, and it's been a good journey up until this point. So we're about to go back to school.
Yep. So what you want to say?
You ready to go back?
Yeah, I'm always ready to go back to school. I think college is fun. Let's just put it that way. It can be like kind of hard because, the workload, but just being on your own, being with your friends, just really a fun time. Like, there's no other time like being in college. It's not like going to school down here and like being at home. Like, it's like, you almost want to call school home, but it's not your home, but it is because you're always there. I feel like I'm always at school if I'm other than the summer. So it's like, that's home, and this is like home.
Okay.
College, it was fun for us, so I do get it.
Yeah.
Seems like it's different kind of fun now because we didn't have social media. I think we got email our senior year. I know we dating ourselves.
I can't imagine going to school with no technology.
Nah, paper, pencil, books.
Well, we didn't have computers.
Chat GPT.
We didn't have
we didn't have Chat GPT.
We had a computer lab.
Yeah, I don't even think we had that.
People had word processors.
What is that?
Working on a word processor.
A fast-paced typewriter. Do you know what a typewriter is?
I know what a typewriter is.
Is it a typewriter?
It's a computer.
I think
it was a computer before the computer. Yeah.
It just got a little screen on it.
That's back when you couldn't mess up. You had to start all over.
Well,
you could erase with those if you had depends on what model you had, but basically you could only type on it. That's
and
it.
You had to print it in. It wasn't no sending papers through
Oh no! Yeah, your paper.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine turning in papers.
Yeah, we didn't know what a PDF file was.
That 1159 comes in clutch because I can only imagine. Like, I hate that when teachers have you turn in assignments 5 or 4 or right before lecture. 11:59 because they give me more time to do what I'm gonna do.
No, we had it. You had to turn your paper in at the beginning of class.
No.
Your full.
Let's talk. It was a whole paper. Like, you printed it out in a computer lab. Do y'all even have a computer lab?
No, everybody either have. I have an iPad and my MacBook. I don't even use my MacBook like that. I use my iPad for everything.
Okay, but what if I don't? If you have a
go
computer?
to the library and get use those computers. They have MacBooks, and then we have the Adobe Lab, but that's not to go write a paper. That's for if you want to make production, podcast, different type of videos. But there are places where you can go to use a computer. But 9 times out of 10, if people in there using it, there's something wrong with their computer that they have personally.
No, yeah, we didn't. I didn't have a computer, so I went to computer lab. It was a many a days. I was out of breath when I got to class because I was in that computer lab, lost my paper, had to retype it, and then print it out. And the printer was kind of slow.
Now
And
I will
then
say for lab, like I'm a biology major, so in lab for like chemistry, we had to print out our lab reports. Like you had to bring that in paper already. So that's the only time where you have to go and print something out, unless
okay,
if you didn't have a printer. But that's the only thing where it's like, I guess.
Nah, we used to have to fight over the printer because you have everybody in the computer lab working on a paper, and then you would have to
Terry.
you have to
Terry.
wait. Well, yeah, because it was like old dot matrix printer. So
Come out in a perforated, like the paper. Y'all, you know how now we buy a ream of paper.
Mhm.
yeah,
It wasn't a ream; it was a
Mm-mm.
box of computer paper, and the pages were connected, like perforated. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
when you print your paper out, you gotta slowly tear it off, and then you have to slowly
Tear
Oh,
it
that's
apart
too much.
and tear the edges off.
and tear the edges off.
No.
And if you tear your paper,
Yeah, you show.
You
Ain't
short.
Nowadays, it's hoping you got internet and hoping that nothing dies and that you got it in on time.
No, can you
But
imagine?
you know, people finesse the system. Like you can turn in a blank document
and then
say
go
you
back
had
in
technical difficulties, and then they get you 2 extra days. I don't do that, but I know people.
You
do.
telling
it.
secrets.
You telling story. Don't share it.
I'm just saying, just in case.
Mm.
Sometimes you have to do what you got to do.
Well, no, because you can always go back and look at the history and see when things were typed. That's the other
Right,
thing.
but a lot of professors, they're not.
Well,
I won't say that they're not tech savvy, but a lot of professors will argue with you. They'll just be like, okay, turn it in again. You can turn it in. Or I didn't get your document.
Oh, so they turn in a blank document on purpose
On time. Yeah.
Turn on that
to
Google
buy
Doc.
time.
Right. And then that way, by the time
So you upload that Google Doc and then go back in and type on it.
professor's not grading that stuff right away. That gets you like 2 days. Or, say you had technical difficulties.
Wow,
Mm.
that's some crazy stuff right there.
It is.
So going back to school, a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Moving.
What'd you say? 12 days.
You remember how
11.
you remember how you when we first moved you in, it was
COVID.
it was during COVID, and we piled up everything. It filled to the brim. Cars just filled.
Oh
to
yeah,
the
we
brim.
have Betsy. We didn't have your truck back then.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
Betsy is she's no longer with us. Bessie died. It's the car that we had from.
It was an
No,
SUV.
she didn't die.
She did die. Well, she basically did.
She
didn't
was
die.
down. She was down. She was down her
she
last
couldn't go no
leg,
more.
and we had to let her go.
She didn't die.
But I think somebody has revived Betsy.
she was.
Where I seen Betsy.
Probably have as a work truck or something.
What was Betsy? Hyundai
Veracruz.
navy blue.
Third row.
What is that? 2011.
Mm-mm. No, it was 2007.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So Betsy was with us. Took me to college for the first time. And she's eventually well, that's beside the point. But we had Betsy, and we packed everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
My brother and sister couldn't go because it was COVID and everything. It's so weird to say that because now moving day is like everybody family come.
Mm-hmm.
But when I moved in, all I know is just having my parents. So yeah, college back then was just so different. It's nothing like now.
It's funny you saying back then because it was just
Like it was a long time ago.
It is just 3 years ago.
And we had to bring a lot of stuff back because you have more stuff.
But the first time you moved, that was the first time. Yeah, you were 2020 graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
yeah. And then
so your whole graduation was adjusted.
But actually, we finessed it. We were probably one of the few high schools that actually had an actual graduation. Like we were sitting on the stadium, cap and gown in person.
Oh yeah.
Our whole district, yes.
Yeah. But it was only like our parents can come, nobody else. So all my family members have not seen me graduate in person. They've seen me graduate
through the live
stream.
stream.
So nobody has come to my graduation. The first graduation that will be able to go to is Bailey.
Yeah, first high school graduate. Well, yeah, for us, yeah,
Yeah.
Bailey's.
But yeah, it was different, and it was like even crazier to leave y'all because you've been in the house since
all your life.
March.
Yeah,
I'm talking about COVID. Being home too, but also having to be in quarantine. I would just go to work, come back. So it was like, oh, y'all are actually leaving, and you think like, oh, it's not gonna affect me, but till you everything is set up, it's like, oh, now you gotta go, and you literally are on your own. Like, it's fun, but I think everybody gets a little homesick. Some people are excited, and then you have people like me. It took me a couple of days to just be like, oh, I'm not with my parents. As much as you want to get out the house, that's a different getting away from your parents. Like, after that, I feel like life is not the same.
Because it was more than just like, I'm going to go to the beach and come back.
Yeah, no, it's not a vacation. It's not like you're going to summer camp and they come back to get you. This is, you're going to be here in college, make your own decisions. You're gonna wake up, figure out what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear. Like, everything is basically on you. So it's fun, but at first it is a little, for me, it was overwhelming. Because it was like, oh, what do I do?
So we drop you off at school. That was kind of like abbreviated, like a hybrid system back in 2020. And then you come home for holiday break.
No, for the second semester.
Yeah, I'm saying you come home.
You came home for Christmas.
You came home after fall.
November.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving, wasn't it? Yeah, came home Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's gonna be here until like January or whatever.
Yeah, but y'all had told me that I was gonna be home for the next semester, and I was like, what? Like, you already sent me. Why can't I go back? Because I believe that's 2021. COVID wasn't really getting no better, but it was kind of a normal thing, so people were just adjusting.
Right.
So not going back, I was kind of upset, but it actually worked in my favor that I didn't go back.
Yeah.
Yep. Because that's when we got a diagnosis.
Right.
And osteosarcoma in your right humerus shoulder area, upper arm shoulder area, and that threw everybody off.
Yeah, because I had my room set up, like I had my desk and everything in there for like class, and I'll never forget, it was the 5th week of second semester of my freshman year, and it's like February, and that's when it was just like we was on the roll. I think that's one of the, like, a cancer diagnosis is one of those things where once you get it, you on it, like scans, biopsy, treatment. Literally within a week of my diagnosis, I was already.
Yeah, we didn't really have a chance to think about it.
We didn't.
We just kind of had to like get moving.
We laugh about it now because I think it's so funny. Like, life really changed like that.
It literally changed on the
like
dime.
It was no like. Of course, I was in pain for a little bit, but it would come and go. So it wasn't a thing of like. It got nagging, and then we went to the doctor or whatever. But they originally thought like I tore something, so you're still not thinking, oh, it's something serious until I got the report of whatever that was, the MRI. And even with the MRI, it was so much because I'm claustrophobic and I didn't know it. So my first one, I was supposed to get my MRI. I couldn't do it because I was claustrophobic. Then I got the second one. So it was just like, this whole time me thinking, oh, it's just minor. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that serious. It's just something. Because also I was in the gym.
Yeah.
And but I was an athlete. So that was just normal to hurt yourself. Yes. And to keep going. But
and this COVID is going on too.
Yeah.
So I
wasn't doing anything.
Right. So everybody was kind of confined. Nobody had a normal routine. So when we get that phone call, we're gonna need you to come in and meet with the team. It's kind of like, what we meeting about what?
Yeah, I don't think it hit us until I remember they told us we had to go to the main cancer center.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why do we have to go there? And I was like, maybe it's just because that's where they you said maybe that's where their office is. And I said, nobody's office is just in the cancer center and not, have something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, it's just been like, oh my God, we really had no time to stop.
Yeah, so that whole 21 year was treatments, surgeries. So treatments up until surgery. Surgery was at the end of May, I believe, because they went in and extracted the tumor that was in the arm, and you have a prosthetic underneath. So from the shoulder down to the elbow is a prosthetic. And they basically, just to give you the quick part of that surgery, was they went in, big incision down the arm, pulled everything back to get to the bone, pulled the bone out, and then put a new bone in there,
right,
and then put everything back together.
Titanium rod.
So that was the first major surgery. That was the first major surgery, and then we found out that it metastasized to the lungs. So then you had to have, was it the end of 21? You had a lung surgery too?
Yeah, so we already knew that from the beginning, which is why part of the reason why I started treatment so fast is because it was already in my lung.
So it's trying to slow it down.
It's trying to slow it down. So I did have what you call a double. It's a long word, but basically it cracked open my chest, both sides, and just literally you have to go through and deflate your lung, and the surgeon literally goes through and picks your lung out to see if there's any nodules, and they pick them out. So it's very like an intense surgery. It's nothing like
he said he said it was like grains of sand.
It's like grains of sand, but it's very like intrusive. What do you call it? Intrusive?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had all that in 2021, and my surgeon said that the tumor in my arm is the size of like a softball. So it was very big, but you really couldn't tell, like, looking at my arm, that was in there.
But you know what I remember? I remember we were sitting waiting on the oncologist to come in, and your arm would hurt so much that you used to have to
prop my arm.
So when you propped your arm on my shoulder, I remember feeling how heavy your arm was.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a lot of weight. It was super heavy. I didn't realize that it was so heavy. And I guess you were just kind of, you had to carry it around. So it kind of became a thing.
So you had that first lung surgery. Then you've had how many lung surgeries to date? 4? Is that right?
They went in.
I've had 3 altogether.
Right. You had the double.
Left and right.
You had left and right. Yeah.
Yes.
Because when so that was all. I got back up. So that was all of 2021. So 2 surgeries. Run the bell. All
December
that
17th, 2021.
Yeah. So then we found out in 2022 of April that there was a relapse.
In all the same areas.
All the same areas. So soft tissue of the arm where the original tumor was, and then 2 areas in the lungs.
Yeah.
So then you had to, in 2022, you had to have another lung procedure.
And it took out part of the lung.
Yeah, it took out part of the lung, and then
I had the backpack.
And then you had the backpack and radiation to handle the soft tissue where the original tumor was.
Yeah, so we had to back up because I went from like my 3-month scans, and that's when they found the thing in my lung. And then they had to wait 6 more weeks to see if it grew. And in those 6 weeks, I re-enrolled to school. So at the same time, waiting to figure out if I was relapsing, I was waiting to hear back if I got it back into school.
Yep.
So when May came around, I was getting ready to go back to school, and I was doing chemo on my back. And then at the time, it wasn't sure enough that I had to do radiation because it's trying to figure out like how I'm gonna do it because I'm all the way in Winston-Salem and down here. So I had to go. We had to go like a week before
Oh yeah, because
started.
remember you gonna do
And
that. He asked about that the trial. Remember we
yeah,
almost did that. Kim, the whole.
I almost did a trial, and that's really how we figured out that. That's how I knew that it was cancer again, because I was on this trial for my lungs. Because at the time my arm was not hurting, but it was just this tingly feeling. And when they picked me up, hooked me up to this medicine, whatever it was, my arm stopped hurting. And like for people that don't know, chemo, if you have any type of pain and it's cancer, chemo takes the pain away. So it's like you feel better. So when my arm stopped hurting when I got the medicine, that's when I was like, oh.
That's when you knew.
That's when I knew. So fast forward to May, I had chemo on my back, and it was like 2 weeks at a time, 24/7, no break.
Chemo backpack.
Chemo backpack, literally on my back, and every week I would go get a checkup. So then the week before school, we had to go to Winston-Salem to test out their radiation to see if they could do it. It wasn't.
We didn't
know if we could do it up there. And it turns out we did. So I did 10 weeks of that, I think. While going to school.
Almost the whole first semester.
Every single day, except for the weekend. And hooked up to chemo constantly. 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. But every Friday I would have to go back to Charlotte to change the bag. So 2021 was like a shock. Then 2022 was even more shock because we thought we were done. Like I had rung the bell and everything. So to go to school and doing all that, it really was like challenging because I kind of was isolated because I just had so much going on that it was like I had fun, but I really just wanted to be done with all the stuff. But I didn't want to be at home. And we always say I think school really helped me to just get through because it helped me to look forward to something. Because you ask anybody, all I talked about was when I was sick in 2021, being in the hospital was going back to school. And at some point it was like, girl, you're not going back to school. But it was like, I knew I'm going to go back to school. But when I did go back to school, I didn't know I was going back to school like that.
Yeah, because you had to get a room by yourself.
Yep.
And then I was concerned about. I knew you could drive, but I was like, so she's gonna drive with this book bag. She's gonna go to radiation every morning, and then she's gonna go to class. And then she's gonna drive home on Friday. Drive to the clinic on Friday, and get that book bag, and then come home. And I remember the first time you went to the clinic, you got your book bag, and you went back to Winston-Salem. I was like,
The book bag was a slow release, 7-day slow release.
Yeah. But I really didn't think of it like that. I was just doing what I had to do.
Yeah, I mean,
because I knew it was a temporary thing. But the bag was like, it was different from the first time because I knew I had 9 months of treatment. With the bag, I didn't know how many months I had. I just knew I had to have it. I knew how much radiation I could get. I knew that. But the bag was like inevitable. So my thing was, well, I can't wait till I don't have the bag anymore to do stuff. Because this could be a while. This could be a long time. And it turns out I was on the bag for almost a year. I think like 9.5 months. So, yeah.
So you was off the bag
February 2023.
Okay. So then we had another lung surgery in 23, right?
The end of 2022.
Yeah, that was Christmas.
Okay, the end of 2022, we had another lung surgery.
Christmas of 2022.
Okay, and then
that was the other side.
Yeah. So
then I had one in.
But I think there's another.
No, I had one December, and then I had one. No,
March. I
thought it was 4, but anyway. So then
I know it's 3 because I count my scars.
Yeah, so we get the So then 2023, we started to get some clear scans.
Yeah,
we have some space, consistently clear scans. And then we had the good surgery. I call it the good surgery.
The surgery that took 2 years.
The surgery that we thought
we didn't tell them that part. So originally, me having my arm surgery for like first time, no relapse. I was supposed to get this was a sandwich. It was chemo, arm surgery, chemo, and get the cap so that I can move my arm because I had no ball. So everybody has a ball in a socket.
Yeah.
I just had the ball for 2 years, but that was not the plan. Originally, after my 9 months, I was supposed to get the cap, but you can't just go straight into surgery after chemo like that. So, of course, we waited, and when we waited,
Nothing
came
with
back.
that.
So, yeah, I had my
It's
arms.
good that we waited, actually.
Very good we waited because I feel like that would have been worse.
Yeah. Then they had to go back in there and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah.
So 20, the end of 23.
Mm-hmm.
December 23, we get the cap surgery to put the ball and socket joint. And it was actually just the other end of the prosthetic.
Right.
That they put back in there. And so that was actually outpatient.
Right, so I can go home.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one, the thing, the running joke that all my nurses said, like, I never stayed, when I had to stay in the hospital for my surgeries, I never stayed as long as they thought I would. Like, I was always out.
Right.
And
especially the double thing was a long. That was a long process.
Yeah, like chest tubes and everything. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't like I wasn't thinking of it like that. I just happened to recover very quickly. But the outpatient for my arm surgery was relief because every single time I had surgery, I always had to spend the night, and that was just like, like hospital is the worst.
Like we always make a joke now that if we don't ever have to go back to the hospital, we good because we spend a lot of time in the hospital over the last 3 years. Like every month in 2021, you was in the hospital from February on.
Mm-hmm.
Like using
every week. You go in Thursday. We go in Thursday and we leave Sunday if we lucky. If not, we leave in Monday night.
Because the kidneys had to clear all the medicine.
All the medicine. So you drinking water, walking.
Like it was just a little area in the hospital where you just do laps. But it wasn't like, it's not designated for that. It's literally a hallway that people just walk through.
We were in the way.
I was just walking so that I could clear. And I would walk there for hours.
Yes.
And you would think I would be tired, but I really wasn't. Like,
because you was trying to
I had my music.
Mm-hmm.
And even while I was getting drip, I was just walking.
Pushing a pole and walking.
And for people that don't know, anytime you got that port, we had to constantly check. God. Couldn't get a fever. Now, in the middle of COVID, couldn't get a fever. Anytime, I think we had to go back twice.
3 times.
3 times. One time you did get COVID, remember?
I got COVID when I went back to school the second week of that semester that I came back.
Right.
So it was just like the whole time I'm questioning, like, should I even came back to school? Because I missed the first. No. Yeah, I missed like the whole introductory basically. Mm-hmm. And because I had my port, it was like anything that happened, I had to go straight to the clinic. There wasn't no going home and sleep it off because that was dangerous. So, and then when you get sick, you also get taken off for treatment.
Yes,
yeah, that's right.
So that sounds good, but at the same time, you don't want it. You want everything to be working.
You don't want to break in your treatment.
In your cycles. Yep.
So okay, so we was at 2023. So 2023 to now, we've been clear.
Mm-hmm.
To that point, nothing, absolutely nothing. So we thank God for that. Mm-hmm. And so now we just trying to get back in the road because school's getting harder.
Yeah.
Because you're into your major.
Yeah.
So, that's a whole nother thing. But we've done really hard things.
Yeah.
So now we can continue to do hard things.
Yeah, but it's kind of like unfair. I feel like it's so unfair because it's like I get back, but I'm in the thick of it now. And it's kind of hard explaining to professors and them because it's like, why would you major? Like, why would you do this? And it's like, because I really want to do it. And it's not that I don't want to try. It's like, this is you don't understand, like, this is the first time I've been normal in 3 years. Like, ever since I've got to college, we talking about general, and we talking about college algebra. That's the last time college has been normal for me. So now that I'm jumping in to genetics and zoology, and it's like, oh, like it was gonna be hard either way, but now it's just like even more pressure because it's like, oh, we're here now.
Yeah, we in the middle of it.
Yeah, and you can't really explain that to people because people are just like, you know, it's gonna be hard. But it's like, no, my heart is different. Like
junior year is a different type of
junior year
hard.
is different, but imagine coming back to normal. You're in your junior year.
Right.
Like, whoa.
You didn't get the lead up.
I didn't get no lead up. I don't have time to, you know, just lay around. Like, that's why I think college means something different to me because it's just like, y'all have had a normal college life. I haven't.
But it's kind of like what you're saying though about your diagnosis. So like there was no lead up. There was a go do a scan, then there was a phone call. Y'all have to be in here, and then from that moment on, it was on. You had like that first week. I think we went to the doctor. What? 2 days in a row scans,
we went
and
to
then
the doctor every day.
And then, well, we had that phone call Tuesday. Then we had scans back to back. Then we had to go see the oncologist. Then we had to turn around and go see the surgeon that was gonna. It was a lot.
That orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
And the one thing about like we have a diagnosis like that at such a young age, they want to move fast. Like they don't waste any time. Because, you know, some people have to wait, like the older you are, you have to wait a couple months before you start treatment. There was none of that. Which is also glad because I remember, like, one of the surgeons telling us, we could treat you. I was 18. He was like, we could treat you on the adult side, but they're going to take too long. So we decided to put you on the children's side, which I think is kind of, I'm thankful for me, but I think that's messed up because I feel like everybody deserves a chance and everybody deserves that urgency.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's good now, but it's kind of like so weird to look back on it. Because it's 3 years to go, and that doesn't seem like a long time, but that was a long...
It does seem like a long time.
Well, not to us.
To what I'm saying, it's only 3 years. Those 3 years were so packed with so many things to do and so many hoops to jump through. And then we felt isolated as a family because none of our extended family could even visit us in the hospital or at home.
Right.
So it was just like
not towards the end.
Yeah, when some of the rules were relaxed.
Yeah, but nobody's really seen the thick of it except for like my parents and my grandparents.
And your brother and sister.
Yeah, my brother and sister.
Yeah.
So.
But now we are coming out of that.
Way past it. This is the first we ever been.
Yeah, we way past that because I know people have been asking like, how's she doing? What's going on? But you know, and honestly, I for the first time in a long time, I don't think about it like every day like I was.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have other things going on like school and looking for a job and career counseling and all that stuff. Because you've been at school now for a while. So
a long time.
So I know you ready to get out.
For sure.
Ready to get a job.
Yeah. A big girl job, not no Chick-fil-A.
Not no DoorDash.
No, that don't.
Been DoorDashing.
DoorDashing. Damn. Yeah. And that's so crazy because now every time people see me, they be like, "How are you?" And it's like, "I'm good."
Well, I mean, people really they haven't seen you, and I guess the other thing is, you know, when we say people ask how is she doing, and I'm like, she's good. You know, and people are kind of like, is she really good? I'm like, no, she really is good.
Yeah.
You know, and we have to remember too that while we were all caught off guard, we also saw you. We saw you step into your young adulthood and drive yourself back and forth. When your bag,
oh my God, I had a bag
malfunction. It was beeping, wouldn't stop beeping. It ran and you didn't get no keep, like all those things, all those mishaps that happened, you know. So that's what I think about. I don't think about it being such a long time ago. I'm like, if anybody had to go through what Kharis went through, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like we cannot. as many times we tell the story, we can't put it into words. Like, there's no words for that time for me. Like,
You just need a camera following you
We,
because
Like,
we
we
probably
really-
forget a lot of
oh
what
yeah,
I know
what
I do.
what actually happened. Like, you know, the all the time, like you said, when you got fever, had to go to the hospital.
Or just
When
getting sick in
yeah,
general.
when you're
Like,
getting sick, you know,
or
the
being in the clinic and the nurses,
Oh, yeah,
having
we were
different
in the
set of
clinic.
nurses.
on treatment days, we're in the clinic all day. You would think
Mhm.
that you get in and you get out. You do not.
Mm-mm.
You have to get in there at 8 a.m. And we're not in getting to our room to the hospital at till 5. And that's just how it goes. Like, so it's like anytime I go back to the clinic and I see like the families, I feel for them because those days are long. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just Tuesday for other people, but it's like,
And it's nothing because the staff was really
oh yeah,
good.
shout out to my team. Shout out to my team.
Yeah,
My
the staff
team.
was
I
really
had
good.
the best team ever.
They were really good.
It's nothing, from that 8 o'clock to that 5 o'clock check in. It's not like somebody is slowing around
No.
and they can't. At one point in time, it was simply because they were trying to make sure that you had a bed on a certain floor because
Mhm.
COVID was so bad. Remember that?
Mhm.
And so they had to make sure that you were placed on the right floor, right?
Mhm.
And so they're waiting for people to be discharged. Like,
I was glad that we had the team that we had, but I hope I'll never see them again.
Yeah, we always say that. They're
Yeah.
always like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you," and I'll be like, "I'm not happy to
Yeah,
see
you
y'all.
happy to see y'all.
yeah, like
I love y'all, but no."
when we leave for those scans, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
bye,
like,
bye,
bye. See
bye."
you in 3 months.
They are great people. They are great people.
And everybody knows your name. Even my nurses like that I didn't see all the time because there's a different set of nurses like in the hospital and in the clinic.
Yeah.
They all remember who I am, and to the point where like if I was assigned a certain nurse and they weren't, they'll all still come say hey. And I really don't think like the nurses and the doctors in oncology get enough credit because you always hear these things of like how cancer is a moneymaker and all this other stuff. Like those people working in those offices are not thinking that.
They're really trying to help you.
Especially when you think about like children in oncology, like there were babies doing the same thing I was doing. So it was just like it's a different world you go into, and I think that we can all say we don't look at life the same. Like it ain't the same. It's just not.
No, it's not. It's not. So,
And to be able to see everybody, because remember everybody had their mask.
Oh
on
yeah,
when
the
first
that
started.
was another crazy thing. Mask to no mask and just seeing everybody's face. Crazy.
Yes.
that was because we didn't know nobody what anybody looked like after
You just had to listen
the
at
last
voices.
year of everything.
Yeah, but that's you.
Yeah,
Knew what
when
they look like from the eyes up.
Yeah, when it was time for me to go, that's when the mask was coming off.
Yes.
Like, oh, dang.
We want to say, oh, that's what your mouth look like.
Yeah.
But no. So it's been a journey. It's been a since COVID, really, since March of 2020, you've had an adventurous life up until this point.
I don't think adventurous is the word, but
I'm saying it's been
we had a time.
Yeah, I
been
was
a
gonna say
time.
it's been a time.
It's been a time, but now, thank God, and we always stood fast. There was some tough times, but we always stood fast on healing and that you were gonna get
better than we could imagine.
right.
See the
Right,
goodness
that's
of the
what we
man.
asked.
That's what everybody says. Like everybody that knows. And the crazy thing is, people that don't know me would not. When I do tell them, they're like, "What?"
Right.
And then the people that know me, that knew what happened, it's just like, you don't look like anything that happened to you. And I'd be like, okay, what do you mean by that? But I get what they mean. But it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a coincidence. And I tell people, I'm gonna tell this story. I'm gonna keep telling it because it's just, I feel like it's a story of just watching God do what He does, and ain't no limit to what He can do for real. Like,
right.
we've heard from what we were hearing to what happened. Even now, the symptoms and stuff that I was like supposed to go through never happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was not a coincidence. So that's all I can go on and say. I'm living proof.
Can give you a nice playlist too, though.
Yeah, I got a worship playlist if you need it, because I got it.
Yes.
But no, we knew. No, for real. Like we we had to. That's the only thing we had to hold fast to.
The only thing
In that moment, and trust the doctors, trust what was happening, and just kind of go through it. We hated to go through it, but we know we had to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were cheerleaders. Kharis did the work, but we were cheerleading in that point. Just like stick with it,
Yeah.
But it was not easy to see your child go through that. But at the same time, as hard as that was for me, I can imagine what it was like for you to actually go through it every week, every month, every time. So we knew we would get, the whole thing was getting to this point where we are right now.
Right. And we didn't know when that would be. And when we thought, sometimes when we thought that it would be this time, it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was just so much more that we had to do. But honestly, I just think that I don't know how I know how I did it, but it was God. But based off my own story, I don't know how I did it. Because even now, I look back on it, I'm like, bro, we was really in the hospital like today, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We were in the hospital. 3 years ago, we were in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then bald headed, like, can y'all imagine me bald? Like, if you don't know, I had a lot of hair before that. So it's like, it was just a whip all around. Like, never been sick as a kid.
Never
Never even broke a bone. Like, I'll just go to the doctor for my checkup. So it's just like,
right. I think you got the flu once. Or a stomach bug.
A stomach bug. And even then, we didn't go to the doctor. It was just like, all right.
Take some ginger ale and lay down.
Never been hurt after all the cheerleading, never been hurt. So, a whirlwind.
So, we gotten to this point. We're going to keep going. And it's important. You talk about telling the story. It's important to tell the story.
Yeah.
So that you can constantly remind yourself.
Yeah.
And to help other people go through hard things.
Right.
We can do hard things.
And sometimes you have to. Like, that was one of the things we had to do. There was no...
Yeah.
People always say, well, I don't know if I would do it because I was in your shoes. You would do the same thing. You would have to.
Yeah.
Well, your choice is to do it or to die.
Yeah, literally. It was life or death. And that's just what it came down to.
Yeah. So,
do hard things.
Do the hard thing.
And
you can do it. Like,
you get through it.
Yeah, you can do it.
You get through it.
Yeah, and it's not gonna be the last hard thing you have to go through. It's always gonna be the hard stuff.
But that's why sometimes when you get a little aggravated now, I just get tickled because I'm like, did she forget? Like, she just really did the hardest thing she ever had to do in her life. Like,
yeah, but it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, but even I'd be like, girl, this is nothing.
You just did very hard things.
Yeah, like, I do have to tell myself that sometimes.
And it's like, you mad because something didn't happen on time? I'm like,
because they got my order wrong.
Are you serious? You serious right now? But no, and then now you're trying to, just fast forward a little bit, you're trying to strengthen the arm.
Yeah, trying to strengthen my arm. And then I'm honestly cool if my arm don't get back to 100%. Because that's not my main thing. No pain or no cancer. That's all I'm worried about. My arm not ever get back to it. Because I kind of came to terms with that, like not cheering again and all that. Like, this might not happen, but that is not the most important thing to me. Because there's other things you can do in life. And it took some time. It still takes time to get to that point. Because I feel like that was something that was taken away from me. But I can get back in a different way.
Yeah.
And what you get, like when you said you wanted to get back to school, and you did get back to school, but when you got back to school, and even with the chemo bag and then without it, I think that was better than what you had imagined it to be. So I think the thing is, in doing the hard things and having the thing that you want to do, just know that it can be better than what you imagined it to be.
Even when it don't look like it.
Right.
Because that was just like a slap in the face, honestly, to go back to school like that. And it was like, dang. Really?
What would your doctor say? You in college and you got a book bag on.
So
now everybody have a book bag on?
Yeah, because at first I thought I could do nothing with that book bag. Like when I first got out, I would sit home. He was kind of like, "Why you don't go out?" And I was like, "Cause I got the book bag."
You went to a ball with the book bag, didn't
You
you?
went to Pure
I went to
Homecoming.
homecoming
Yeah.
with the book bag. HBCU homecoming, by the way.
Right.
So
You remember you said what guy said? What's that bag you got?
why you always got that book bag? And I said, I have cancer. That's like, oh.
But after that, he was good, right?
Yeah, everybody's cool after that. Just like if I tell them something wrong, I always over explain. And people kind of be looking at me like, I would have never known that if you didn't say anything. But yeah, it's cool now. But it's so many stories. Like this is like the sped up version. It's so many stories within it.
Yeah. Like again, we can't tell every.
We can't.
We don't have enough time to tell everything
No.
that has happened over this.
That book bag in itself, we used to call it the baby. The baby is
The baby, because it
a-
sounds like a baby.
It sounds like a baby
It sounds like a baby
breathing.
sleeping. Yeah.
Even to this day, sometimes I'm just like, I don't get that bag. But yeah, but now y'all can go follow my YouTube because I do have a YouTube. I'll be honest, I don't post consistently and I'm working on it. But it's out there and there's multiple videos that you can watch.
And what's the name of your YouTube so they know?
It's Kharis McGee. KharisMcGee.
It's College Diaries, isn't it?
No, that's just a segment. You giving it away. That's just a segment. You got to go watch and figure it out.
You giving a plug on our show.
Well, why wouldn't I?
All right. Well, I am Shfanta.
You
said it in the beginning.
And you are.
Everybody know you Shfanta.
Dad, you got to close out the video.
And he's Mel.
I was gonna close out a different way.
Okay, close out. How you want to close out?
I'm Mel. Nah, I always mess with them. But no, we thank you, Kharis, for coming on and
thanks for being our first guest.
And
I am the first guest.
Taking over the show.
I love this show. And I hope to see y'all again because I liven it up. I always tell them, liven it up. People want to laugh.
Okay. So
we give information.
Y'all do.
Our show is informative.
But when I come on the show, we finna turn it up. Just know.
Okay.
This will be your last time.
LT. So I am Shfanta, and we thank you all for tuning in to Open Exchange.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.